Who are we talking to?
Ourselves.
Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. It is the final episode of Fandom Forensics for Harry Potter.
Woo.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
Okay.
Covering 2 films and 1 book. It's a heavy one. It's a licensed weapon in some states.
And oddly enough, it's my favorite out of the series.
Did you know that a leaf blower is considered a weapon in some states?
No, I did not.
Random facts about America. You're
It's
welcome.
heavy enough.
Hmm.
Anyway, to start off this Fandom Forensics, I decided to do a brief in memorandum for all of the characters who died in this book.
We did not obtain music for this.
No.
You're just going to have to use your imagination.
Just put on Lily's theme and you're fine.
Professor Charity Burbage, Professor of Muggle Studies at Hogwarts.
R.I.P.
Hedwig. Alistair Mad-Eye Moody, the real one.
Though I've emphasized the real one.
George's ear.
Look, Ma, I'm holy.
Minister Rufus Scrimgeour, and I'm pretty sure I butchered that last name. I have no idea how to say it.
Scrimmager?
I always say Screamagore.
I always said scrimmager.
This is the problem with just reading. If you don't hear the word aloud, you don't know how it's pronounced.
I mean, when I first started reading Harry Potter, we called it Hermione, because that's how we read it.
I didn't know how rendezvous was spelled until I actually saw it written down for the first time.
Oh.
Colonel.
Anyway, Grigorovich, the wand maker.
R.I.P. Maker of fine wands.
Bathilda Bagshot, aka Nagini's corpse costume. Which, just a brief thing, the fact that in Fantastic Beasts we add in that Nagini was once a human, so this is a human trapped in the body of a snake. Puppeting a corpse.
Yeah.
Is weird.
Make that make sense, ladies and gentlemen.
Imagination.
Imagination.
Edward Tonks, father of Nymphadora.
R.I.P.
Dirk Cresswell, he's not in the movie.
Okay.
Gornuck, he's also not in the movie. Gornuck, Cresswell, and Tonks were all together, and they were with they I don't remember how it goes in the book, but they were all together and they all died. Peter Pettigrew, who doesn't die in the movie technically, he just gets knocked out.
We never really saw him die in the movies.
No, but in case you didn't read the book, his new hand strangles him to death when he hesitates on killing Harry. So, there's that. Grindelwald, he also doesn't die in the movie.
No, we only see him get captured and then...
Then Voldemort asks him the question, and then Voldemort pieces out to go rob a grave.
Yep.
Dobby, the free elf.
Here lies Dobby, a free elf.
Vincent Crabbe.
Meh.
And Gregory Goyle.
Meh.
Got what they deserved.
Reading. Didn't know you could read.
Fred Weasley, George's brother. Losing it.
Boo.
The death is a lot sadder in the book too. Because right before he dies, Percy cracks a joke.
The only time Percy ever is funny. On purpose.
And Fred is laughing. And then he dies. Horrible, horrible thing to write, J.K. Rowling.
Thanks for that.
Professor Snape.
Yeah.
No, I'm not calling him headmaster. He's professor.
How dare you stand where he stood?
Professor Lupin. He really should have stayed on as a teacher. He was a great teacher. So he has a monthly issue. And he tried to kill Harry. Who hasn't tried to kill Harry?
I mean, at this point, if you're the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher and you don't try to kill Harry, did you even do your job? Did you even come to work?
Tonks. Colin Creevey, whose death is not in the movie.
Kind of one of the more pointless deaths.
Lavender Brown, another one of those pointless deaths.
Nah, we didn't need her come back.
Killed by, I believe it was,
Fenrir Greyback.
yeah. Nagini, Bellatrix, and Voldemort.
Okay, now I think I can speak for everybody when I say that Bellatrix's death was
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss, Molly Weasley for the win.
Yep.
Just wonderful. Well, I would say that I enjoyed Bellatrix's death more than Voldemort's.
Yep.
I would also like to say that in memorandum, that is heavily weighted on a lot of good guys are dying. Which, I grant you, most of the Death Eaters are unnamed. So, I guess it kind of evens out.
Yeah.
Bad guy number 1. Bad guy number 473.
Bad guy 1432.
Anyway, before we get on to questions, just a reminder that to everyone listening, the big bad of 7 books is named Tom. It's actually the most common name in the books. There are 2 other Toms. Most names are unique. There's only 1 Hermione, there's only 1 Ron, but there are 3 Toms. There's Tom Sr., Tom Jr., the villain, and Tom the Innkeeper.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was his name.
Whoops.
Most people, you don't bother noticing him. He's just there behind the bar.
Yeah.
Anyway, we start off with the funeral, because, Dumbledore just died.
Mm-hmm.
And Fox just flies away. I get that Dumbledore died, but I felt like Fox was gonna stick around. Didn't you?
When the book came out, I remember a lot of people thinking that Fox leaving possibly meant that Dumbledore truly wasn't dead, and that Dumbledore was going to come back.
In a way, I guess he kind of did.
Just not in the way we thought.
Yeah.
Well, of course it's happening inside your head. But yeah, the Fox going to save Harry in the second book, I thought meant that Fox would always be there to protect the students even when Dumbledore couldn't be there.
Hmm.
And to see him just fly away.
See, I thought of it more as like...
It's a bit disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bit.
See, I thought of it more as kind of like... especially at this point, we learned a lot about Animagi. And I was always kind of like, what if there are actually 2 phoenixes and Dumbledore's Animagus is actually a phoenix? There's no rule that we know of that says that your Animagus can't be a magical creature.
The wiki outright says that there is no written rule. Most, or all the known ones, are non-magical creatures, but there's no rule stating it can't be a magical creature.
Exactly.
Although, it would be very disappointing if you were an Animagus who had a magical beast as your form, and it was a flubberworm. Of all the magical beasts, that one. But yeah, also I wanted to see Fox show off because I had a theory that Phoenixes were the ultimate counter to Dementors. Think about it. Dementors are death incarnate, fear. They literally chill the very earth. And a phoenix, hope, rebirth, fire. Is the perfect... But we never see a phoenix actively fight a mentor, and it's a bit disappointing.
But we see one fight a basilisk.
Yep. Maybe it's like Fox flying off is a symbol that, because Dumbledore always, it's like, Harry has always said that, there's, Hogwarts is a safe place when Dumbledore's around, and Fox is an extension of Dumbledore, and Fox flying off means that Dumbledore is truly gone.
Okay. Also, we got robbed because Mad-Eye Moody fans, if you're a Mad-Eye Moody fan and you've only seen the movies, your favorite scene isn't the real Mad-Eye Moody. It's the fake one, played by Barty Crouch Jr. And if you have read the book,
they didn't show any of your favorite scenes.
There is no constant vigilance in the movies. It's just in the books.
Constant vigilance.
Which, if we practiced that, we might have stopped this whole thing in the first place. But c'est la vie. Now on to real questions. What are the Muggles doing? We know from a previous book that the government's aware of the magical world. Fudge says he has regular meetings with the Muggle Prime Minister, so...
Just a reminder, Margaret Thatcher tried to throw him out a window.
So...
Love it.
Now that Voldemort's in power, Muggles are being killed in droves, an entire bridge is destroyed. Anyone in the British government going to say, hey, we have a terrorist cell living inside our country in secret, we should warn the populace.
We could. We won't.
Yeah. Because they always say we don't want to incite mass panic.
But you know what usually incites mass panic?
People dying with no discernible reason why.
People not telling people stuff.
Well, at least with the bridge, you can make the argument that it was due to,
there was a fault in the concrete or whatever.
Yeah, you can make, faulty engineering. You can blame that on the faulty engineering. You can't really blame, I guess if the Death Eaters killed, a couple Muggles or, whatever, then you can just be like, it's a raving of a madman or a serial killer and he's still on the loose and blah, blah, blah. People don't really do that for everyday serial killers, so why would they do that for Death Eaters?
To be fair, regular serial killers can't use magic.
But the populace doesn't know that. They just know that some guy was killed.
But the government knows.
The government knows a lot of stuff they're not telling us.
But
that's a topic for another day.
But you know what the Muggle government really needs in these books? An armed populace.
Which is why this takes place in Europe. Specifically, the UK.
Vernon has a gun in the very first book.
It's a hunting rifle.
It's a gun. You point, you shoot. Hunting rifle or no, it's still a gun. In fact, you could have snuffed out Voldemort and all the Death Eaters with Dobby and a shotgun.
This is why Hogwarts does not allow American transfer students.
Yep.
And I know someone's going to go, oh, well, guns aren't useful against wizards. And I will point out two things. One, you can fire a gun faster than someone can say Protego. And two, if guns were not a threat to wizard kind, they would not be secret. If the most popular weapon that Muggles have can do nothing to wizards, there's no reason for wizards to be secret. At all.
From a historical standpoint, I'm going to direct you to 1642, Salem, Massachusetts, and then a slight time before that in England, and a slight time before that, anytime somebody heard the word witch, what happens?
Burn the witch.
Bonfire! Rogue agrees with me. The cat agrees.
Furthermore, where is the International Confederation of Wizards that we set up over the several books? You know,
Well, now you're just asking tricky questions.
not one of them shows up to help deal with the crazy cult leader suddenly running the UK. And is putting the Statue of Secrecy in danger with his massive muggle attacks. And if no one steps in on the wizard side to deal with Voldemort and his cult, because it's a cult. It is. It's a cult.
It's a cult.
What's to stop NATO from getting involved in declaring wizards a threat?
Does NATO even know that wizards exist?
NATO doesn't agree on anything ever. It's kind of their thing.
I assume if the leaders of the countries, if the people highest in the governments know the wizards exist, NATO must know, right?
I'm just going to put this out there. As a world populace, we can't even agree on what the name of the first Harry Potter book is. So what makes us think that the world leaders are going to be able to come together and say, witches and wizards and warlocks are a threat to the Muggle populace?
They can't even decide in universe what to call the muggles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The English call them muggles and the Americans call them
Nomads. Yep.
Which is just
You took care of the non-magic, right? What? The no-magic? No magic. The non-wizard. Sorry, we call them muggles.
It's like, the what? It's like, did you bring your sweater? We call them jumpers.
What?
have a biscuit. This is a cookie.
Or fish and chips. These aren't chips, these are fried. Or these aren't chips, they're fries.
Get out. So, next question. Let's say you were Voldemort for a second, and you had 7 Horcruxes of varying items. Where would you hide them?
Wherever Harry Potter is not.
Would you hide them in, say, very important places to your particular backstory, and all within the same country?
No.
Just put one in a lockbox and drop it in the Marianas Trench. Good luck getting that one, Potter.
He'd figure it out.
Yeah, he'd figure out a way.
Accio! But we know that doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you remember that Voldemort made those Horcruxes and put them in ways that were significant to him, because the cave where they found the locket was a cave that he explored when he was a boy in the orphanage. Nagini, obviously. Now I don't know about the cup though, but
The cup?
Helga Hufflepuff's cup.
Okay.
Which he got from Hepzibah Smith, I think is the name.
And he doesn't hide it. He gives it to
Bellatrix.
Bellatrix Lestrange to hide it.
And she hides it in her family vault.
Well, not her family vault. Her husband's family vault. Because
her vault would be in the Black House, but
she put it in the Lestrange vault. Because if it was in the Black Vault, Sirius could just send Harry, like, hey, there's this weird screaming cup in my vault. Could you go get it?
And then there's the diadem from Helga Hufflepuff. Or, I'm sorry,
Rowena Ravenclaw.
Thank you.
Given to him by Helena.
Her daughter.
Well, not given, more like pointed to.
Taken.
'Cause she was dead at that point.
Yeah, she was a ghost.
She's been dead for a while.
Yep, she was tricked to giving it to him.
Which, gotta love Helena saying, a strange man with a strange name. His name's Tom. Okay.
When you knew him, his name was Tom.
Like,
So even she agrees. Tom's a weird name.
now, granted, this is a world where the name Marvolo doesn't raise any red flags, so maybe Tom is a weird name. Next, did Dumbledore plan for Harry to survive dying? Or is that just a happy coincidence?
Well, let's look at it this way. We know, in this book, we find out in this book that Dumbledore has known for quite some time what Harry is, and he has been keeping Harry safe to use him to play the move at just the right moment.
To die at the correct time.
Okay. But that plan is also hinging upon you finding all the other Horcrux and destroying them first. I'm just going to throw this out there, Dumbledore.
With very little help.
If you hadn't saved him in the first book, you'd have been down 1 Horcrux. If you hadn't saved him in the second book, you'd have been down 1 Horcrux. If you hadn't saved him in the third one, he'd be down 1. By saving Harry every single time, you're really just delaying the inevitable, which you know you're going to have to do. So, really, was that a great idea?
Now,
no.
Going back in Goblet of Fire, when Harry tells Dumbledore about the ritual that brought, or the potion that brought him back, and that his blood was used, Dumbledore reacts as if, oh, I've just won the chess game. So there seems to be a very small chance that Harry could survive, but it requires that Voldemort would only kill the Horcrux and not Harry, which that's a big leap, okay? Harry surviving the first time was a fluke.
Harry surviving any of the times was a fluke if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Harry willingly walking to his death, which is insane considering what this kid's gone through. Voldemort himself acting as the executioner, which is not that hard to do because he's very much no, I'm the one who gets to kill him.
Yep.
Seriously, if he had just let somebody else do it.
Harry retaining the blood protection tether because his blood is in Voldemort. Harry choosing to return and not just going off to the next great adventure and being reunited with his family. Again, insane considering what this kid has gone through. And then Voldemort using the Elder Wand, which is actually owned by Harry, which there was no way Voldemort could have... Okay, maybe he was hoping that Draco would disarm him, and because he knows Draco and Harry fight, that Harry would disarm Draco down the line. Maybe. But that is astronomical odds.
Well, wasn't the whole point that, Dumbledore had the Elder Wand and Snape disarmed Dumbledore, so in his mind, and when...
No, Snape killed him.
Yes.
Draco disarmed him.
But in Voldemort's mind, because Snape essentially took all the credit, and in his mind, Voldemort sees that Snape took the credit, Snape was the one that disarmed and killed him, so if he kills Snape, then the Elder Wand is his.
Yes, but that's what gets him, is the fact that Snape didn't disarm him.
Yes. Also, for those of you who didn't read the books and don't know why your friend who read the books cringed near the end there, it's because in the book, Harry doesn't destroy the Elder Wand. He uses it to fix his own wand, and then he buries it back with Dumbledore, because this thing is a walking target on your back, so maybe not have it on hand.
But it's also, he does it because in his mind, it belongs to Dumbledore.
Yep.
Harry is very, what's a nice way of saying? He doesn't really ascribe to wand lore, except when it benefits him.
Does it fire? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
He doesn't really ever get into the whole concept of the wand chooses the wizard, because pretty much every wand he's ever picked up, even the ones at Ollivanders that didn't work, they always They always worked for him. They did something. They always did what he needed him to do. So he's never.
Maybe not exactly.
I guess the better word to say is like, we have that wonderful bit from Malfoy when he's like, I want my wand back. This one doesn't understand. Malfoy understands wand lore a whole lot more than Harry does. Like, Malfoy gets the thing of, that's mine, it feels right, it's mine.
And Harry's like, cool story. Anyway,
yeah, great story, bro. Not today.
Well, it's probably because, for the majority of his life, Harry did not realize that the magical world even existed.
Yeah.
So, and since Draco grew up in a household where magic was the norm, for them to have his sort of connection to his wand is
it is
more
important
relevant.
that a pureblood wizard always keep their wand close by. It is a symbol of our strength and our magic.
But something that was also not talked about in the movies, but was talked about in the books. So once again, if you didn't read the books, you kind of missed this. Is that by this point in the books, Harry has already learned that truly powerful wizards actually don't need a wand. And he's already started tinkering around with his ability to not use a wand. Now, he's nowhere near as good as Rubeus Hagrid, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
I have a whole platform of why the whole reason that Dumbledore had to take out had to take out Hagrid and put him in chains is because, quite frankly, Hagrid is the most powerful person.
Don't you mean Voldemort?
Yeah. Sorry. Well, do I?
Dumbledore.
Stay tuned for that episode.
Dumbledore at least kept him on grounds.
Yeah, but he could have reinstated him as a student, but he didn't. Justice for Hagrid.
Hagrid's got the magic power and also the upper body strength.
Justice for Hagrid. Also, Harry, why didn't you name your child after Hagrid?
Literally,
you named
a girl named Ruby.
That's all.
Perfect.
But yet, no, you gave one of your sons the name of the professor that bullied, gaslit, and essentially made fun of you and your family. But he was in love with your mom, and he died for love. And it's like, no, he died because he was a creep.
We're gonna have another episode where I'm gonna go over my platform of justice for Hagrid, and you guys see if you're not on my side. R.I.P. Robbie Coltrane.
Also,
we ride at dawn.
Let us all be honest here. Albus Severus Potter was doomed.
That's a terrible name.
Yeah.
First off,
his name is Asp, like the snake.
First off,
he was doomed to be in Slytherin regardless.
Secondly, as somebody who grew up with a very long name, think about the standardized tests. Think about all the government forms you have to fill out. He's never going to have his name fit nicely on anything.
Also, going off of another person you should... McGonagall gets the shaft.
Yeah, she just buys him his first
broom.
Just buys him his first broom, takes care of everything, puts him on the Quidditch team.
Mini Ruby Potter. There we go.
Minerva, yeah. Could have had... No, but no.
Okay. Next question. Why does Harry suddenly have Horcrux radar? That wasn't a thing in any of the other books.
No. What?
It was like, did he react to the diary? Not really. It's just a weird book. He went, why is it blank? And then he tried writing it, and it worked. And he didn't think twice of
It's not technically Horcrux radar, but in the second one, he is able to hear the basilisk, which we know that after he destroys Voldemort and that's all gone and he's no longer a Horcrux, he's never able to speak Parseltongue again.
Yes, but that's not what I'm talking about.
So it's not necessarily Horcrux radar, but it is kind of like a recognizes like.
Well, it's like
okay.
It's like also.
So you're saying that all Horcruxes
speak
that are objects specifically, because Harry does speak Parseltongue, but he doesn't vibrate Parseltongue at all times.
Ron says he talks in his sleep.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, why didn't he hear okay, you can excuse him not hearing the diary because he was also hearing the giant. He was hearing the giant snake in the walls too, and that kind of drowns out whatever the diary's doing.
That year was Harry Potter and the year I thought I went insane.
You can get away with him not hearing the Horcrux in Nagini or in the ring at the Riddle House in Goblet of Fire because one of them's a snake, and he was actively trying not to die. He was kind of busy at the time. He wasn't exactly listening for items speaking to him.
Well,
the locket that's in Grimmauld Place, that should have been ringing in his ear, and it just, nope, didn't hear it.
You could also make the argument that in the second book, Harry didn't hear the diary because it wasn't until the fourth book when Voldemort revived himself and he used Harry's blood, so now they're even more connected than they were. And because a Horcrux is essentially part of a person's soul, that if he ever goes near to something that had a portion of Voldemort's soul, he can feel it because now he and Voldemort are more connected now that he used Harry's blood to revive himself. What?
All I'm hearing in my head is Tony Stark. You know how I know? We're connected.
But you get what I'm saying, though. It's like because he used Harry's blood as well as his blood to revive his full form, that now they are,
They're connected.
They're connected, but they essentially are the same person now.
Okay. Interesting theory. Next question. This is really just this one's not a question, but it's a last chance. We're in the Forbidden Forest. They're all lined up perfectly. And the car comes in and takes them all.
Where's the car?
Also, centaurs. Hi. Ambush of arrows, please.
It's like, literally, no one sees it coming. Mm-hmm. They're all lined up perfectly. Like a bowling ball with pins.
Mm-hmm. And out of nowhere, the Ford Angela! And there's your car commercial, Ford.
Yep.
And I know what someone's probably going to say is like, well, it wouldn't permanently kill Voldemort. We don't need to permanently kill him. We just need him to not be in a physical body. Okay? We just need his physical body to be dead. Once he's a ghost, he's no issue.
Would it kill him? Probably not. But breaking a femur is that's the most hardest bone break a human can withstand. So, if we just,
it would definitely slow him
down. He's just a guy. Hit him with your car.
You could also take out a few of his followers along the way.
Also, another spell. Why don't we use this in the future? One of the few things we got from Lockhart that's actually useful. Brachium emendo, meaning to remove the bones from the arm. You know what you can't do when you don't have bones in your arm? You can't cast spells.
I'm gonna speak for Harry here. And that was a very traumatic year for Harry. He blocked that out.
Without bones in your arm, you can't cast spells. And it takes a full night to grow it back with Skelegrow. So that takes out anyone you fight against until they go get seen by him.
You know why we couldn't do this stuff? Because we needed to retroactively justify Seamus Finnegan being a pyromaniac. Being an explosive. We had to retroactively justify
the only Irish person being obsessed with explosives.
We had to justify that somehow.
Okay.
Boom!
Just another thing. Umbridge is not sentenced to death, or to be kissed by Dementors.
Ever the pity.
Any of the crimes that she did.
Ever the pity.
She is sentenced to Azkaban, which is now Dementor free. So I'm going to quote Avatar: Last Airbender here. Send her to the refurbished chamber that was once bad. Like, really? We're hurting for justice here. And I don't know. I don't think life in prison is enough for what she did.
I mean,
She tortured children.
there is a great there's a meme about how when you're watching the Harry Potter movies, you can tell the difference between Fred and George, played by the Phelps brothers.
Yep.
Do you know what it is?
No.
George always looks happy, and Fred always looks like he's about to kill someone.
Hmm.
And
Those are not mutually exclusive.
No, they're not, which is why these two are great. So you have that moment where you see the twins comforting the boy who's just gotten out of detention, and not Dumbledore, but Umbridge comes in and she's like, "I've told you before, Mr. Potter, naughty children ought to be punished." And she walks away, and Fred's face is just like, "Okay, I'm gonna burn down her office with her inside of it." And he has the line of, "I've always thought our futures lied beyond the realm of academia." And George is like, "I've been thinking the exact same thing."
Also,
I have a very strong opinion that Fred was fully ready. So he'd be like, "We're gonna burn down her office with her inside and the cats." And George was like, No. We should make it explode. Fireworks. And then we never come back. I think George talked him off the ledge a little bit there, because the look on Fred's face was like, "Give me 5 minutes and she won't be a problem anymore."
we all know the spell. It's just 2 words.
My
We
brother
point and shoot.
will swear he was with me the entire time. Harry will swear he was with us the entire time, and none of us heard a thing.
Another thing.
You just gotta get rid of the cats.
Another thing
Nobody heard a thing.
that if you've only seen the movies, you missed out on Peeves.
Bring back Peeves!
Peeves kicking Umbridge as she leaves the castle.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yay.
Now this is a problem I have. These last 2 are points I have a problem with the Harry Potter series as a whole. And the first one is Harry and friends just restore the status quo. They don't really fix any of the problems that led to Voldemort rising in the first place.
You gotta deal with the thing that's right in front of you first.
To quote High
Fair
School
enough.
Musical, "Stick to the status quo."
Counterpoint. Percy Jackson. Not only does Percy Jackson end the war, but when asked for what he wants the gods to do, he makes them promise to stop doing the stuff that led to the war in the first place.
So what? Tell Dumbledore to stop using orphaned children as pawns on a chessboard?
Well, he's
Or
kind of dead, so he can't do that anyway.
Tell all the purebloods, "Oh no, you don't have any you don't matter anymore. It's therefore alienating even more people, and therefore could possibly recreate another Voldemort."
Maybe we stop with the whole house system encouraging people to
Why?
be anti each other.
And no.
Another thing is, at the end of the day, all Gryffindors are brave. Or not all Gryffindors are brave. Not all Ravenclaws are smart. But most Slytherins are evil. Why? We get a handful of good Slytherins in all the books. A handful.
Because, so if you look at the words about Slytherin versus what we see about Slytherin.
Ambitious, cunning,
Determined. Determined, ambitious, and cunning. That is what a Slytherin is.
Counterpoint.
I'm still making my point.
Okay.
What do we know about and you know what? I'm gonna pick on the easy target here. Gryffindor. They're brave. They're courageous. And what's the third one?
Brave, courageous, and I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna say strong.
While you're looking that up, a Slytherin is ambitious, and they're cunning, meaning they can figure out how to get to what they desire.
Bravery, daring, chivalry, and courage.
That's even worse. Okay.
Yep.
My point being is that cunning is seen as a negative thing in this context. They see ambition as negative. It's not a bad thing to want something. It's not a bad thing to be driven towards something. It's not a bad thing to, like, for example, you're in school and your ambition, you want to be the top kid in the class. Okay? That's your ambition. That's what drives you. That's not a bad thing. If you're, that's not a bad thing. It becomes a bad thing when you go about doing it the wrong way. I.e., I'm going to give everyone in the class the wrong answer key, so I only have the right answer key, and then I make the highest grade. That is wrong. Don't do that. But to be cunning or to be ambitious is not a negative thing. To be brave and be chivalrous and daring is not a bad thing. It's just...
Until you start running into every single dangerous situation because you can solve it.
Yeah, with no knowledge. Being the smart and intelligent people is not a bad thing. But if you can't act on the information you have, that's not a bad thing. And being kind and being loyal is not a bad thing. But if you're loyal to the wrong person, it can be a bad thing. Every single one of the houses has just as much potential to be twisted and contorted to evil. The only reason that I think J.K. Rowling picks on Slytherin, and yes, I am a Slytherin according to the Pottermore quiz, okay?
So am I.
So, yeah, I'm going to say she's picking on my house.
Justin's a Hufflepuff.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
Yes, and he is a very true Hufflepuff. But the only reason that she does Slytherin is because in her writing, being ambitious and driven and cunning is bad. She sees those as bad traits, and so she portrays them as bad traits. And remember, the entire franchise, the entire story is told from Harry's perspective. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
First off, that is an unreliable narrator if you've ever heard one, because the kid didn't know anything about the magical world until he was 11.
Guy teleported to the top of the school roof, didn't realize magic was real. I don't know what to do with that.
Talks to snakes, thinks it's a perfectly normal Saturday.
This is normal.
He sees Slytherin as the bad house because the first thing he ever hears about Slytherin is this guy who's been very nice to him saying bad witches and wizards come from there. And of course the first kid that we saw get sorted to that house was the greaseball who did not make a great impression.
Technically, he didn't hear there's not a witch or wizard that went bad that wasn't in Slytherin until after he got on the train. But he met Draco beforehand at Madame Malcolm's, where Draco said he was hoping to be in Slytherin, and then immediately started bashing on Hagrid, and Harry went, "Oh, I don't like this kid."
Yeah, so because of one person, he based his judgment on the entire Slytherin household. Okay? We all love ourselves some Luna Lovegood. We all love her. She's a wonderful, eclectic, special person. Okay? We love her. She's not a Gryffindor. She's a Ravenclaw. Alright? I would like you to take what we know about Ravenclaw. They're smart. They're intelligent. They're brainiacs. Seriously, they're Hermione. And then show us Luna Lovegood, a girl who frequently reads the Quibbler and says that there are invisible bugs that live in your ears and make your brain go fuzzy.
To be fair, those are real.
Yes, to be fair, she's right, but nobody can prove she's right. She sees things that aren't there. She talks about things that no one talks about. She walks around campus regularly without shoes because somebody stole her shoes. And she's very not the poster child for Ravenclaw. So if we had met her as our first introduction to Ravenclaw, we would probably be like, oh, they're the weird hippie house. if it's all based on who that original person they met and the person that he formed a bond or an ideal with. I mean, everyone loves Hufflepuff. Okay? We all love Hufflepuff for our own reasons. I just happen to be married to one.
Hi.
But the only Hufflepuff we ever spend any time actually getting to know is the dead kid.
No.
And Tonks.
And?
That one kid who said Harry was the...
I was going for Professor.
Sprout?
Yes. Who is a lovely woman and is very nice and always helpful and very kind.
And, if you really want to make the argument, someone who doesn't make in the main Harry Potter series, but in the Fantastic Beasts series, Newt Scamander.
Yes. Okay, but let's just go this route. If the first person you ever met from Gryffindor was Minerva McGonagall, 2 seconds after Harry and Ron showed up late their first day of class, would you be like, oh, she is a wonderful woman and I want to be around her all the time? No, you would be like, she's the scariest person to ever walk the face of the earth and I'm going to do anything but that.
Now, proof that the author picks on Slytherin the most. Out of every bad guy in the main series, only the following are non-Slytherins. Quirrell, he's a Ravenclaw. Lockhart was a Ravenclaw.
Was he?
He was.
I want to see the official transcript.
Peter Pettigrew, Gryffindor. And that's it.
Okay, well, here are the handful of Slytherins that are not evil.
Do we have a house for Dolores Umbridge?
She's Slytherin.
Dang it.
I know, it sucks.
Why? I don't want her.
Funnily enough, she
Get
is...
her out of the house.
Funnily enough, she is not a pureblood. She is a half-blood.
We don't claim her.
I'm
not
terrible.
claiming her for the house.
The only
She's
reason,
terrible.
The only reason why she was kept around when
She's
Voldemort
the
was in power
worst.
was because she would basically flip for whoever was in power.
Just brain teaser for everybody. Everyone clear your brains. Out there, if you're listening, clear your brain for a minute. All right? We're thinking Harry Potter. Think to yourself, don't say it out loud. Who is the worst villain in the entire Harry Potter franchise? Now, why is it Dolores Umbridge?
Because
It's
she
always
tortures
Dolores Umbridge.
kids.
Because she tortures children. And she wears an obscene amount of pink.
That alone is a crime.
But let's also just give a shout out for the actress who played her. She played her so well that anytime I see her in anything else, even now, I'm just like, I don't like. She was in The Crown.
It's Imelda.
Imelda Stanton.
Yes.
She played the.
She was in The Borrowers.
Yes, she was in the. I love her in The Borrowers. Also, yeah, she played. Tom Felton and the guy who played Mr. Weasley were all in The Borrowers together.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah, I love her in The Borrowers. But like she even played Queen Elizabeth II in The Crown. In the last few seasons, she played the older Elizabeth. Okay? And I love me some Elizabeth. Okay? I love her.
Tori Zendelfile.
I am. I had a hard time watching her as the Queen of England because I was just like,
It's Umbridge.
it's Umbridge, and I don't want Umbridge to be the Queen. Ever. But she did do a great job. She always does a great job.
Now, I will make one little note on the list of non-Slytherin bad guys. If we include the weird timeline of the Cursed Child,
No!
Cedric Diggory becomes a Death Eater in an alternate timeline, which is the weirdest take anyone could make.
That is not canon. We do not recognize it. It does not exist.
No!
Seriously, this is...
No.
No. The only thing I recognize about the Cursed Child is Tom Felton continuing his role as Draco. That's it.
And also Snape going,
That's it.
I died by the snake?
Yeah, because
That's what killed me?
yeah, that is the only part we acknowledge. Nothing else.
Otherwise, we will not acknowledge
For the record,
that poor fan fiction.
For the record, for everyone listening, I read The Cursed Child. We have not seen it.
I refuse.
I've read it.
I don't think they've read it.
I've read it.
I started it and I couldn't.
I read it.
To be fair, plays are not great for reading.
Now here's the thing. I love me some good fan fiction. Okay? And if I had to pick a fan fiction for Harry Potter, and it came out long before The Cursed Child, okay? I'm going with Star Kids. Gotta Get Back to Hogwarts. A Harry Potter musical. Okay? I'll be watching that. Or you know what's even better? Potter Puppet Pals. You can still find them on YouTube. Who doesn't know the mysterious ticking sound?
Snape. Severus Snape.
Dumbledore! Okay? That is better. And historically, some great fan fictions have led to what are now considered canonically considerable things. I mean, case in point, the whole anything involving the story of Lucifer is fan fiction because the devil is actually never named in the actual Bible. Dante's Inferno is fan fiction.
Yep.
Very
And
popular.
It's very popular. It's great fan fiction, okay? I'm not saying you can't have great fan fiction. I'm just saying not all fan fiction is great. And I don't think The Cursed Child is great.
And with that, we are rounding down. This is the final question
It's
for
the
Fandom
final question.
for Fandom Forensics.
Beep, beep, beep.
Harry never tried to become an animagus in the series. Which, to be fair, I've read the instructions. That is convoluted.
Much like everything else in the series.
How would someone come up with that? I don't understand how someone would come up with that testing, with magic, just naturally. This doesn't read to me as something that would naturally occur. Sorry, we're distracted by the cat. Anyway, if Harry had chosen to become an animagus like his father and godfather, what animal do you think he would become? I will accept two possible answers, one for a mundane creature and one for a magical creature.
Are we doing both of those things? Okay.
Yep.
Alright. For normal creature, I would vote for he would be like Sirius and essentially do a shaggy black dog. Just because to honor his godfather.
Okay.
For magical creature, I'm going to say hippogriff. Buckbeak.
Okay. Tori?
I do like the shaggy dog, the black shaggy dog. However, if he could not honor McGonagall in any other way, couldn't name your children after her.
Want to be a great tabby cat?
No. I do think he would be a black cat.
Okay.
Bombay?
Just a black cat.
That's a Bombay.
I'm not giving him a specific
Okay.
cat
Specific
type.
breed.
Okay, he's just gonna be a black cat. No, strike that. I know he's gonna be a black Maine Coon because that's got the scruffy looking hair that looks almost dog-like at times. So I think that's what he would be.
Also, Maine Coons are known to be really big.
Yeah, so he'd be a very big, scruffy cat. And then for a magical creature, I also think he would go with a hippogriff.
Okay.
I will say though, an argument could also be made that he would turn into a snake. Just for the comic Just for the comedy of it.
I thought you might go with a phoenix because he can't die.
I mean, that would be a good one as well. Maybe,
Um,
he takes up the mantle of the phoenix.
But I have two separate ideas.
Okay.
So, first one for a mundane creature, a tawny owl. They're very common in the UK. He's a natural born flyer. They're sneaky, and he sneaks around a lot. They're also hunters. He sees things everyone else ignores.
Weirdly enough, because he wears glasses.
I feel like it fits. It makes a lot of sense to me that he have a flying form because
What if his broom got taken away?
so there's that. And then magical creature coming from Fantastic Beasts, the Okami or however you say it.
Yeah.
The one that turns invisible?
No.
That's the serpentine bird that can change size.
Oh.
Reason being is, one, flight. He's a natural born flyer. But two, snake, parcel tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the connection to Voldemort messes with the animagus
And when
things.
Ginny gets mad at him, she puts him in a teapot.
And three, he grew up in a cupboard. He grew up small. And it was only after he was allowed to leave Hogwarts that he actually grew. He grows and shrinks to
fill the
fit.
space.
I'm just going to point this out, though. Like, a lot of Harry's abuse is glanced over
Oh, yeah.
in both the books and the movie. And the movies, because he is starved, he is beaten, he is not given any sort of support whatsoever. He's essentially treated like a servant, and his fat cousin Dudley essentially just treats him like a punching bag.
We asked back in the very first Fandom Forensics episode, where's Child Protective Services?
Yep.
Because Harry doesn't get a full meal. He eats whatever's left.
Eats scraps.
Scraps that he cooked.
Also, his birthday present was a coat hanger. So yeah.
So yeah. Anyway,
Now the question is it a new coat hanger or was it a coat hanger from the cupboard he already lived in?
I'm gonna go with second option just because of how horrible the Dursleys were to it.
Anyway, so those are our votes for what would Harry be if he were an animagus.
Yep.
I'm saying Tawny Owl or Akami.
I'm gonna go with if it's not a dog, he's gonna do a Maine Coon cat.
I'm gonna go with a black shaggy dog, and for magical creature, both Tori and I agree he will be.
He'd be a hippogriff.
Okay.
Maybe a 3-headed dog.
Or, maybe, or
Fluffy.
how about this? A dragon.
No.
I still say dragon. But
That'd be
hippogriff would be
overpowered. Anyway, if you have your own thoughts on what you think Harry's animagus form would have been, drop us a comment.
Yep.
Somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah, we're on all social media platforms.
And this concludes our Harry Potter edition of Fandom Forensics, at least for now.
Yeah. We're gonna have more things to talk about. We'll have new Fandom Forensics series.
If you have an idea of what you'd like the next subject of Fandom Forensics to be, leave a comment. We might return to this in regular podcast form, or we might do return things for Harry Potter
On our Patreon.
whenever we get that set up.
Yep.
So, until then.
Until then.
Join us next week for another riveting episode of Mc&Marren, where we will be discussing
Disney Villain Pantheon Part
5.
5.
There's a lot.
Yes!
We have a lot of villains to talk about.
Let's see who goes up and down.
And who stays the same.
All right.
Alright,
Bye.
Bye.